All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Good morning and welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here for SHIPIT Nation. I am Eric, also known as The Game, and this morning we will be discussing the Coke Zero Sugar 400 taking place at Daytona International Speedway. Of course, before we break down the Coke Zero Sugar 400 taking place at Daytona International Speedway, let me, of course, mention us here at SHIPIT Nation. You're a one-stop shop for all things DFS. Community, projections, the Stone, courses from Tambo, Hoop and the Boys, everything you could need for DFS you can find at shipitnation.com, plus the best optimizer in the game with SaberSim. So if you haven't already, you do owe it to yourself to join us at shipitnation.com, and NFL season is right around the corner. So give us a shot. All righty, this weekend we're discussing Coke Zero Sugar 400 taking place at Daytona International Speedway, which is a super speedway race, and it is the last race of the regular season of NASCAR. So it is quite an important race this evening. First and foremost, Dominators. We do not care about Dominators at all this weekend. In fact, we don't care about salary either. So Dominators and salary are completely out the window because we don't care about Dominators because fast laps and laps led are normally spread out entirely through the field at this race. And as far as laps led, the only thing we care about is place differential. Okay, so place differential is king. And once again, salary does not matter. You can have $10,000 left on the table, $12,000 left on the table, and absolutely hit the optimal lineup tonight. That's the kind of slate this is. And I consider it basically a lottery slate because a lot of folks are just stacking the back and trying to hope to get that magic six groups of six drivers. So let me first and foremost talk about what I think is the most important storyline of the evening, and that is the NASCAR playoffs. Tonight is the regular season finale, which means as of now, as of this recording, there are 14 drivers that are locked in to the playoffs. No matter what happens tonight, those 14 drivers are in. We have 2 drivers who are on the bubble, and then a pile of them that have to win tonight. So on the bubble, we have Tyler Reddick, who starts in 27th, and Alex Bowman, who starts in 2nd. Of those 2, Tyler Reddick will probably be in your player pool, and that's shown by the 31% projected ownership we have for him versus Bowman's 2% ownership this weekend. Those 2 drivers, if no one new wins tonight and one of the previous other winners of the season win, both of those drivers get into the playoffs. If a new driver wins, then only Reddick gets in the playoffs if he's within like 9 positions of Bowman. So Reddick and Bowman are kind of racing each other tonight. And here's the rest of the drivers who need to win and their starting positions. And I'm pretty positive that most all of them will already be in your player pool. So the drivers who have to win tonight to make it into the playoffs is as follows. Christopher Buescher, he starts in 24th. He's a cash game selection. Great at super speedways. Absolutely should be in your player pool. Ryan Preece, he starts 31st. He's also a cash game selection. He's had a fantastic season so far. He should be up towards the front as long as he doesn't get into an accident. Last year, he got into a violent accident and flipped violently down the backstretch. So hopefully he's in for a good night. Kyle Busch, he starts in 14th. He almost won this thing last year. Came in second to Harrison Burton. He's right at that bubble of where I start to consider drivers in my player pool. Super speedways, I normally always cross out the top 10, top 12. Kyle Busch sitting there at 14th in a must-win situation. I will probably click him and have him in some lineups tonight. Ty Gibbs starting in 18th. He's a must-win. AJ Allmendinger starting in 21st. He's a must-win. Brad Keselowski starting in 10th. I love Bad Brad tonight. I just don't know if he's a great DFS play. He starts 10th. We want to stack the back. Maybe in 150 max GPPs, you throw a couple Brad K lines in there. But other than that, I'm pretty sure I'd stay away. Where's my list at here? Carson Hocevar, he starts 16th. He's a must-win. Michael McDowell, he starts 20th. He's a must-win. Eric Jones in 26th. He's a must-win. John Hunter Nemechek, 34th, a must-win. Zane Smith starting 13th. He's a must-win. 13th. He's kind of in that bubble. Kyle Busch starts 14th, and I'd consider him. So I'd probably consider Zane as well because he's in a must-win. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 25th. Love him tonight. Daniel Suarez in 12th. Probably a fade for me, even though he is in a must-win. Justin Haley in 37th. He's a must-win. Todd Gilliland in 28th. Ty Dillon in 23rd. Noah Gregson at 32nd. 29th for Cole Custer. Riley Herbst in 33rd. And Cody Ware in 35th. Now, I'll add all those drivers onto the slate plan. So if you are a SHIPIT Nation member, you'll have those in the slate plan to read. But those are all the drivers who must win tonight. And I would say the majority of them should be in your player pool. And because they are in a must-win situation, maybe you bump them up in exposure and you drop down the super heavy chalk like Chase Elliott down a bit. Because tonight we are trying to land the magic 6 drivers. Tonight could be a very chaotic wreck fest. It's Daytona. It's super speedway racing. Again, tonight is very much a lottery. So, that's it. There's no practice to talk about. They don't even practice for these things anymore. They just qualify and then race. So, nothing to talk about in practice. William Byron got in some trouble post inspection yesterday. They busted the 24 team laying down the spoiler a little bit. So they made the car go through inspection again and it failed. So he will have to drop to the rear and do a pass-through penalty. But he's starting in 8th, so you probably wouldn't play him anyway today. So that's neither here nor there, in my opinion. And other than that, that's it. I don't anticipate any drivers going to the rear because there was no damage yesterday. Stage 1 and stage 2 will probably be boring, and stage 3 will probably be the crazy wreckfest portion of the day. Yeah, that's it. These are the fun slates in my opinion, because once you make your player pool, in my opinion, you kind of can treat everybody the same, but bump up the randomness, boost the number of unique drivers per lineup, spit out what it gives you, and hope for the best. Next week, we're back to regular NASCAR, not this lottery style slate. So for those who don't like these lottery slates, regular old NASCAR is back next weekend. But for all those who do enjoy these slates, happy Daytona Day. And as always, let's ship it.